Hi, Amani. My name's Daphne. So sorry for the delay in getting this correction back to you. Thank you for your hard work sending in your essay about prisons. Sorry. Here we go. Let's just read this. I'm just checking your word count in here. 408. Okay, that's probably too long. You only have to write 250 words. So what we recommend to our students is aim for around about 300. If you're very confident, 350, but it's better just to keep it accurate rather than writing too much. Okay, I want to see 4 paragraphs. So intro here, then paragraph 1, which is going to be some people who've been in prison become good citizens, later argue they are the best. So this very important idea, they are the best. So 1 paragraph about this, yes, they're the best. Another paragraph possibly, no, they're not the best. There might be another alternative. So, and then your conclusion at the end. So very clear. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, sort of 4, 5 paragraphs. So we want to get this down to 4 really clear paragraphs. Okay, let's have a look. So if we just get this question carefully, some people who've been in prison become good citizens later, and it's argued that they are the best to talk to teenagers about crime. So to what extent do you agree or disagree? Now you say it's irrefutable that who commits the crimes in his life, then he alters to become good one. Okay, that's sort of saying that everybody who commits a crime changes his life and becomes good. I don't think that's necessarily true. And we just need to sort out the grammar. Irrefutable that a person who commits a crime can change to become a better person. So not alter, can change. He is the best, capital spelling, to offering some advice, to offer advice to a specific category of ages, that is teenagers. Well, we don't know. So you said people are divided into 2 parts. Start with this. So this almost should come at the beginning. Okay, opinion is divided as to whether people who commit a crime can change and if they are the best to offer advice to citizens. I'd change that whole round. Some people assert that the preceding criminal, you wouldn't say preceding, you would say a previous criminal is the best to talk to teenagers, as some argue with that, or argue, okay, against. Yeah? I disagree with the first view, so be careful saying this because you're making me or the examiner look back and find out what the first view is. It's too complicated. Just go, I believe that. Okay, I believe that. Okay, these previous or reformed, we use the word, prisoners are not always the most suitable. We have to get this idea of the most suitable people to talk about their experience. And then you can go, and this essay will explain why, or something like that. Okay, now on the course that Ben does, which I think would be perfect for you, Ben has a sentence guide, 12 sentences, how to put your essay together. First off, we start with how to do the introduction, okay, because this is too long. The criminal nowadays have many negative aspects on our society. I have many interpretations for that, and there are many negative effects on a teenager's life. One of the negative effects, the previous criminal cannot give the people any better idea. The main reason given to support this claim is that someone who has bad behaviour cannot give advice, good, because some teenagers have some curiosity to experience a criminal's life, such as when the criminal talks about his life crimes, the teenagers will be or may be tempted to copy that. So we should far away who comes out of prison. Okay, there's a lot of, to be honest, your English sentences that don't work. And this is a very, very long sentence. If you think you start here, This is all one sentence, which is too much. I don't think you need that line. I don't think you necessarily need that line. Maybe that line, but why don't we start with maybe here, okay, it can be stated that, okay, hearing about crime and prison from a we could use just prisoner, may suggest, or may have even, many negative impacts on a teenager's life. And I would just start your paragraph in quite a strong way like that. We don't want any opinion here. Just keep your opinion into the intro and into the conclusion. Okay, one of the negative effects is that the previous criminal cannot give the people, so we're talking teenagers, any better idea. Now, careful with better, because better than what? That's a comparative. So any clear idea, any clear recommendation. The main reason given to support this claim is that so someone who has a bad behavior cannot give advice because some teenagers have some curiosity. Okay. About criminal's life. Now I would stop and say this means that. And then you can breathe into the next sentence here. When the criminal talks about his life crimes, teenagers may be tempted to copy that. Okay, rather than we, I would say so. This kind of advice or recommendations should be avoided if possible. Yeah? Okay, so I would come into that sort of idea there. To be more explicit, some people say it's impossible to... Okay. Some people say it is impossible. So watch out on the grammar here. To convert a good after entry to prison and someone who has, watch out on the, again, the syntax, the organisation of the sentence, has bad behaviour, will stay that way, will keep that quality, or is unlikely ever to be fully reformed. Okay, so you could use that sort of structure instead. So I get your meaning, but I think what's holding you back here is actually just the main grammar of the sentence to make sure that it's clear. Now, you don't need this whole, in other words, an example. So you now want to come into your next paragraph. Yeah? So you might put furthermore. So rather than in other words, if the teenager is an admirer of any event that a criminal has done, tenses, in the past, and they see that action of adventure, they might do the same. So again, not will, but might, just suggest it maybe. Don't ask a question in IELTS. Just go, this is because youth like more adventures. Excuse me a minute. Okay, just start here. Teenagers in this age, or youth, like more adventures, so they prefer to do any idea that does not come in our that does not come into their mind. Consequently, hearing some risk idea from a criminal is mesmerizing. I like that. Really nice idea there. Well done. Good thinking. Yes, exactly. And it therefore accumulating is a good word. Accumulating new ideas may have the opposite effect of attracting some youths to a life of crime. We have to make sure we don't generalize too much. It's not going to be all teenagers, but it could be some. So nice idea there. I would just make sure that is just your next paragraph. If you're going to have an example, make sure it is included in this paragraph. So this should kind of continue. For example, the preceding years, okay, the previous years have seen a downtrend in the scope of crime. The level of crime, maybe. And because, rather than the people, let's be specific. Do we mean teenagers? Do we mean youth, young people? It's not everybody this. And there are not any digital sources to know what's happening around them from criminal operations. Now, be careful of this, because you've gone away from the topic here. Yeah? So what we really want to be talking about, go back to the question, make sure you plan this really carefully. Are they the best people to talk? Yeah? Don't really have to talk about how much crime there is. Are these the best people? So you want to say, basically, no. And then you want to go, furthermore, this idea of they might be tempted. And you could say, why might they be tempted? I go into this in a bit more detail, and then add an example that statistics have shown that teenagers who have found out more about crime from a previous criminal have tried crime themselves. Something like that, okay? Or you could do this paragraph slightly differently, and you could say, there are other ways. So maybe there should be more government messaging, that it shouldn't be these people. Yeah, they're the best people. So no, you could say, no, they're not. But there's other people who could be better than them. So I wouldn't get into this because you're kind of going off the point there. To summarize now, here you want your opinion. I will put in conclusion, actually. I believe that. Okay. Although some people see the criminal can describe the crime risk to young people in order that the youth avoid that road. Yeah. I do not think that this is the best policy, and that there are other preferable ways to educate teenagers. Something like that. Okay, I really hope that helps you. You've got some nice ideas here. I think what's holding you back on this exam is the organisation of your sentences. So it's actually just quite a basic grammar problem. I think once we get the grammar in place, we can get the vocabulary in place. Love you to have a look at the course. I think that could really help you. Ben's little videos on how to put the essay together. Once you get an idea of the structure of the whole thing, then a lot more comes into place, and that would really, really help you in your preparation. So you're doing academic IELTS, obviously, from this. So the pie chart illustrates overseas pupils registered in British University. Okay, it's clear that the proportion of the number of students were highly in the beginning in Brighton and hit the largest point in shape. Now, be careful. Hit the largest point in shape. Okay. Why don't you start the proportion of, or the number of students in Bright, hang on, sorry. Okay, what you haven't got is an overall sentence. So you need overall. So we do one line like that, overall, and then you just give me what you can see, but with no detail. Okay, student numbers in both years were highest in Brighton, whereas, so we're contrasting, okay, the lowest proportion, good word you had there, is or was in Cardiff. Okay, just as simple as that for your overall. Okay, now it is clear that the proportion of number of students were high, not highly, high in the beginning in Brighton. And this, well, we don't know if it reached a peak. We could say it increased. Peak might, we don't know what happened next. So peak is tricky. And it increased by 1,000 by 2014. Okay. Increased by 13.5%. Well done. You're very good at maths then in that case. So go with your maths. That's brilliant. Okay. Then I go. So now I'm talking about the high numbers. Okay. The next highest numbers of student registration were seen in where are we going? Birmingham, with almost 12,000. I'm not going to write the whole thing for you. It's boring for you. Okay, almost 12,000, and then go into the next one. And Leeds at 9,000. So you've got those images there. So you're going to do the highest ones there. Okay, and it's bar. Watch out. I know that it's tricky, but it's a bar chart, not par. Watch out on the B's and P's. I know that is a tricky one. Okay, so, and I'm going to take out that next highest registration machine in Birmingham, and also in Leeds. So they were fairly similar. So I'm picking out these high numbers here. Okay. Similar numbers for both years could be seen in, and then you're going to group these ones together. Manchester, Liverpool. Manchester and Liverpool. Okay. So at around whatever. So that's dealing with the larger ones. So take that out because we've already put Cardiff up to the top. Okay. So that's your paragraph talking about the large ones. Now, okay. Now you can talk about those. Hang on, let's get that. That is quite interesting. Well done. Get that into here as well. So those are the bigger ones. Those are the changes. Okay. And then you want to have a talk about the small ones. So the ones that had the same. You've got it. Absolutely. Glasgow. Yep. Where are we? Edinburgh. Bristol. So they were the same in 2004. Or so they were. They all registered a climb in 2004 from between 2 and 5,000 to 6,000. So group those together. You're absolutely right to group them together. Okay. Now it's not really fell. So start with the 2009 and then climbed to 2014. So what we're looking at for this answer is grouping. Very careful on the vocabulary. We're not really, you could say it grew to or increased to. We can't talk about peaks because we don't know what happened before. We've just got, and we don't know what happened in between. Yeah, we've just got 5 years, a gap of 5. We haven't got every single year. So we need to be a little bit careful on the language we're using here. What I want to be seeing here is structures like in contrast, while, whereas. I want lots of not as high as, the highest. I want lots of superlatives. I want lots of comparative structures. That's what we're looking at there, and the grouping. Okay, so well done, really good effort there. Do have a look at the course. I think that would help you a lot. I think there's, I'm sure you can make rapid progress, and well done. Thank you.